Viewers are getting some update coming in, a breaking update coming in. BBC lands in massive controversy. Mahesh Jethmalani has now tweeted, and I quote here, "Why is BBC so anti-India? Because it needs money desperately, enough to take it from Chinese state-linked Huawei and pursue the latest agenda. And also, it's a simple cash for propaganda deal. BBC is up for sale." Going ahead to our executive editor, Niranjan, for more detail. Niranjan, it's a claim by Mahesh Jethmalani. Just take our viewers through that.
Well, this is a very, very big claim, in fact. And Mahesh Jethmalani, he's also on the phone line. But I just want to tell you what Mahesh Jethmalani has done. Mahesh Jethmalani, the UK media, and this is huge. And you've been talking about it. The UK Spectator has said, why is BBC so anti-India? Because it needs money desperately enough to take it from Chinese state-linked Huawei. Mahesh Jethmalani is joining us on the phone line right now. Let me go across to him. Mahesh Jethmalani, this article is scathing. Essentially, it says that Huawei is a paid partner of the BBC. Huawei is funding the BBC. They have a special relationship with the BBC. Does that explain what the BBC is doing with India? Mahesh Jethmalani.
Yes, not just that. Huawei has been sanctioned by the UK government. It has been banned from UK 5G trials. In spite of that, BBC has been taking money. Now, I'll tell you something, that they've done this very cleverly, right? They don't take it for BBC UK, right? But they take it from an overseas organization so that while the UK doesn't get propaganda material funded by China, it's overseas, wherever it's broadcast overseas, we poor ex-colonials, right, are getting Huawei or Chinese state-financed BBC propaganda.
This is huge. It explains what the BBC has been trying to do. And in fact, this report, which has been published by UK Spectator, Mahesh Jethmalani also talks about how some people, or at least whoever's left of these kind of people who are disgusted with such propaganda that the BBC is doing, internally, there seems to be a huge rebellion in the BBC as well on what they're trying to do.
There is internal disgruntlement in the BBC itself. One of the criticisms of BBC, right, within the organization, is that while it proclaims and champions rights for the Uyghurs in China, the Chinese Uyghurs, right, at the same time, it is taking money from the very oppressors of those Uyghurs.
Well, and some more, and it appears it's specifically and categorically for content outside the UK, so it's very smart. It's very smart.
That's right.
And it will be, yeah.
It is Niranjan, it is sneaky, it is clandestine, and it is hypocritical.
And Mahesh Jethmalani does this. I don't know, you've been tweeting about Jairam Ramesh, you've been asking questions to the Congress party, and you've been asking questions about Jairam Ramesh and Huawei. I'll repeat that. It's the axis that is making sense right now, or it's just an allegations putting dots together, joining the dots. Congress / Jairam Ramesh / Huawei / the BBC. Is it possible? Can it be ruled out? What's going on with all these three put together with India?
The combination of circumstances is not mere coincidence. All that is happening now, the attack on Prime Minister Modi, right? And the raising of questions during the Bharat Jodo Yatra by Jairam Ramesh, himself a great empathizer, to say the least, of Huawei, right, is extremely now suspicious and leads to an almost irresistible inference that this whole hit job has been coordinated and planned by a number of actors.
It's, if anything, it just raises more questions. It raises more questions on the credibility of the BBC. I mean, we didn't have a doubt about that. Mahesh Jethmalani, do you plan to raise this in Parliament? You're a parliamentarian. The Parliament session is on. The opposition has been armed. They've made it clear they're going to raise the BBC documentary, one among many issues. Will you be raising this point?
Well, I hope the BJP Parliamentary Party permits me to do it, and the BJP Parliamentary Party itself points out the motives of those who are fanning this BBC documentary.
It's an explosive revelation, one that the media didn't know about. Mahesh Jethmalani, thank you very much for bringing it to light.